Hey, what's up, guys? The Amazing here, bringing in the review. This item is of the SH Figuarts Homecoming Spider-Man homemade suit with the Mark 47 2-pack. I'm going to redo both of them at the same time, so it's probably going to be one of the longest reviews I've ever done. But I'll try to get it all together and all at once, so you guys can wrap it up. Anyway, let's get started. I want to start on Spider-Man. All right. So real quick, if you've bought in Spider-Man, you already know what you're getting in terms of a figure, with the exception that this guy's just a tad bit different in certain cases. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about. One, mine's came a little loose. I don't know if this is going to be an everybody thing or it's just going to be a me thing. But there's some parts of my arms that are loose, and I'm not a big fan of that. But I'm pretty sure some lemon players will tighten that up. Overall, I'm really enjoying the aesthetic and the look. I mostly got this because everybody was like, oh, I want the Mark 47, which is great, but I'm just here for 2-packs. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. Now, in terms of articulation, we get something similar to what we got with the regular tech suit Spider-Man. You get double jointed elbows. You get a nice articulation to go left and right. The arms actually rotate all the way around. And there's also a butterfly joint that allows you to go forward and back, so you can get all sorts of really cool poses that you want to get. I'm a big fan of this kind of stuff. The arm actually drags down as well, too. Now, that being said, the really weird thing about it is it's also equally fragile. So you need to be really careful when you're handling this figure, which sucks because now it makes it feel kind of like a Mafex where you have to be very careful. But assuming that's the way it is now with smaller bodies, that's the thing it's kind of going to be the thing now. As you can see, also a piece of my sweater came up on my Spider-Man, but that's just going to happen. Now, ooh, excuse me, got something caught in my throat. The head articulation is really nice, goes up and down, rotates all the way around. Nothing to really worry about here. It actually has a lot of human movement, which is really good. You don't get the emotive eyes, you just get these normal eyes. But obviously you'll get that with the hot toy. The sweater comes up, and that pretty much allows for more articulation here. As you can see, this is crazy. You can actually get really cool articulation. Now, as you can see, it's a really crazy gap now. That's the one drawback to this. You're going to get a crazy, crazy gap. Now, if you're going to like do crazy articulated stuff where you'll be pretty much like knocking that out, like for instance, if you are going, legs actually spread out pretty far too and rotate really well. But let's say you're going to be doing something where you rotate the joints or it looks something like this. What's going to happen on the backside doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to see that stuff. But if you're going to do it from here, it kind of makes a difference. And you can't pull down the sweater enough. So there we go. So it just covers the gap enough, but still going to be right there. So that's another issue. But overall, I'm really enjoying it. You see the thigh swivel is here as well. Knees are double jointed, and you get plenty of ankle pivot to do all those really cool Spider-Man-like poses. I'm actually a big fan of this. This came out really nice. Now, one of the things that I worry about besides the gap is that when you're closing up your gap or your figure, what I suggest you do is you squeeze it to make sure it comes down so that way you can put it back properly and it doesn't get caught up anywhere. You definitely don't want that getting caught or then something messes up or anything like that. You just don't want that kind of problem. It's just not fun. Now, one quick thing that you can do when you want to swap down the parts, you just pull off right here and the hood comes off. And you can even leave it off so that way it looks really cool. You can also just slide the hood back on. In the backside, there is going to be a little option here that just goes onto the figure just like this. So while it stands a little loose, there's actually a tiny peg for the hooded part. I like the way he stands. I like this a lot. Now we're going to go over his accessories real fast. I'm going to leave his hood on so we can go over the cool stuff that comes with homemade suit. Let's do him in a cool pose. Something cool and vanilla. There we go. Not very imposing at all. You obviously get web shooting lines. This is the longer version, and you also get a smaller version. Really nice. You also get a web line for shooting your web a long way. Unlike the original version, which turns, this one does not. It is straight. Please don't bend it. It is not meant to be bent because I just bent it just now, and you can see the stress mark inside. So that's not a good look. Now, as far as hands go, you obviously are going to get thwip hands. So you get web shooter hands, 2 of each. You get 2 relax palm hands. relaxed palm hands. Sorry. You get 2 web climbing hands. Really nice. And I like the texture on these as well. They don't, they're a nice red too, a different kind of red that matches the boots more than the hoodie. You get 2 Haka hands, if I'm saying that correctly. If not, please correct me. So these are really cool. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. And then you get hands for holding the web lines. Or the web line, I should say, the singular one. Obviously, you can grab the one that came with the normal one as well. It's pretty cool. Real quick, I'm going to do a quick comparison to his tech suit version. Oh, crap, and I forgot to... I'll do it in the photos. But I forgot to compare it to the Mafex one. I forgot to take it out. So as you can see here, he's about the same size as his tech suit one. Suit actually looks different, functions a little different, as we know, but it looks really good. Also, one thing I wanted to test out is how does the backpack fit on it? So I'm going to just test that out real fast. Boom, 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 boom. And that's why I took off the peg in the back. So we're going to see if it can line up just as well for this one. And actually it does. So you got to be careful with lining up the pegs here, but it actually fits on the homemade suit as well. So if you have the first Spider-Man, the backpack does indeed fit on the homemade suit. It doesn't fit perfectly, but it fits enough that it will work well in photos. So that's pretty good. Let me just take this off. And voila. So now let's sit you in the background and then let's talk about Iron Man. So now we're going to get to Iron Man. Now the thing about this is the way to get the Mark 47, the only way to get it was to get this 2-pack. Now as you know, the Mark 47 is a repaint of the 46, but overall it looks really nice. It just looks really nice. So if you're not a fan of the hot toy, or you just wanted it in a 1/12 scale or close to 1/12 scale, or you don't want the Legends and you're an SHF guy, this is the only way to get it, is by buying this set. Now, if you have the Mark 46 or you've seen my review or anybody else's review, you kind of already know what you're getting, but if not, let's go over that. Now, in terms of articulation, I popped a whole shoulder off. That's the first time that's ever happened. Give me 1 sec while I go grab that. Do-do, 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 do-do. See, didn't last long at all. That is a first. That has never happened. So that was quite surprising. Let me see if I can get it on. Oh, okay, got it on with relative ease. And that was just applying pressure way too fast. So as you can see, I pulled out the shoulders. That is a mechanism that the 46 uses. It looks really good in a vanilla pose. The one exception is that there is a gaping neck issue. As you can see, there's a lot of negative space around here. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's covered pretty well in most photos. But it's not something that it's really cool to be noticeable all the time. As you can see, I pulled out the arms, and now that extends the articulation to rotate all the way around. I don't know what's up with my focus today, but it can rotate all the way around. Shoulder flaps are on the arm, but obviously, if you just saw what happened to me, if you flick it up too fast and it presses against the actual shoulder or the main torso of the figure, it can go flying. There's bicep swivel, really good. And the arms are double jointed. So as you can see, it can come up really well right there. Now, in terms of front articulation, as far as ab crunch, there is almost none, because just like the 46, the plate here is actually in the way. So you can't do one of those things where it's just like, oh, you know, I guess, no, it's not going to work out that way. It's not like the 45, where it had crazy ab crunch. You can honestly look back and look up for flight poses. It does it really well, just like it's doing here. Now, the thing about the 47 that I found really cool is that it feels a little bit more heavy. Maybe I just haven't held my 46 in a while, and maybe I'm just tripping, but it just feels a lot better, a little heavier, a little more heft to it. As you can see, it still uses the old Iron Man drop down leg method. It has thigh swivel that rotates. In doing so, it allows you to get that double rotation here for the big knee joint. Then you get plenty of ankle pivot with die cast feet as well. You forward the flap to get toe pivot as well. So overall, you're just getting a repaint, and I'm going to show you the Mark 46 to compare it with real fast. So like I said, it's just one of those things where it's less gold, it's more silver and more red. I mean, actually a lot less red, but more silver. But overall, design-wise, you're getting just about the same thing. just in a really cool color scheme, which is honestly a staple for Iron Man at this point, and we know it. But overall, it looks really nice, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a kind of a sucker for it. I like the 47 a lot. Looks a lot like the Ultimate Armor, or at least the first Ultimate Armor, I should say. Now, what you get with Iron Man is you get 2 relaxed palm hands. One I have here. One is already attached to him. You get 2 closed fists. That was the staple hands that come with it. Then you get flight hands or karate chop hands, depending on what you plan on doing with it. Then you get hands for holding his staple repulsor blast. Now, these ones, you can actually attach the long one for firing. You can attach the short ones for rocket blast or when you're hovering in the air. And then, like all Iron Man, you get the staple foot thrusters, which plug directly into the feet. Look really well. Now, overall, is it any different from the 46 besides color? No. But it does look really nice. And like I said, it does have a little bit more heft to it. I don't know what they did to it. Maybe it's me. Who knows? But yeah, overall, I really do like it. Now, real quick, I want to double check something peg-wise to make sure that the Tony Stark head still works on here. Now, in the 46, it was kind of tricky. Won't lie to you. And it's looking like the peg may be a little too thick this time around so that it can't work on the 47. And nope, I'm wrong. Still works. Now, the peg just doesn't look right, but the head can still fit. So you can still fit the Tony head on it, just that the peg doesn't look perfect anymore. It doesn't sit completely flush to look well. Unless you work it at an angle, I'm pretty sure, but it just doesn't look good to me. Not anymore. Let's pop this back on. Oop. Hopefully I won't have trouble popping this back on so we can get back to this review. Oh, and I don't. Nope, not too much trouble. Real quick, I'm going to do size comparison to both Spider-Man. I'll just take this hood off. To both Spider-Man and Iron Man. I'm going to leave these guys front and center. And then we'll compare it to a bunch of other stuff, like I normally do. Let's move all the stuff out of the way. Here he is next to a Mezco Captain America. Both of these guys, as you can see, they're obviously a lot smaller. The Iron Man looks okay next to this Cap. But for some apparent reason, people like Iron Man to be taller than Cap. It is what it is, right? Choose and pick and choose. Here these guys are next to a DC Icons Nightwing. Not too bad. Standing around the same height. Doesn't seem that bad at all. Here they are next to an SH Figuarts Camerata Laser level 5. As you can see, Iron Man's a little taller. Spider-Man's obviously shorter. But they look pretty good. Here they are next to a Marvel Legends Blade. Not bad, not bad. Here they are next to Articulated Icons Solitaire. I mean, not Solitaire. Yeah, Solitaire with a modified ninja head. Overall, this is really good. I like where this is going. Here they are next to a Marvel Legends Black Panther. So size-wise, although they are smaller, I'm pretty sure in perspective shots you can make it work. And if not, that's what practice is for, right? Who cares for scale when you can have fun? But in the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully I didn't drag you guys on. And hopefully it was informative. In the meantime, guys, be good, do good, drink your water. I'm out of here. Later.